Today guys we are talking about backpack, so follow me on this adventure. As you can see the footpath sign is a little bit shamble, but we are heading there in that woodland, little woodland. Hopefully I can stop there and we can have a chat. So I've seen a deer coming through here in the past. Sorry about the fluff in my beard. Yeah, so I'm trying to following the path that they come through, so it's a bit clearer from all the nettles that are around here. But look what I found. So this is a pelvis, of some animal. I suspect it's a deer, small deer. So that's where the hip joint forms and the leg attach, and we can see part of the spine there. Yeah, that's really interesting. And there's a lot more down here. So that's the whole spine. We have some long bones down here and part of the rib cage. I found this spot here, which is pretty good. So the path is down that way, and it's on a slope and a little hill, so we're quite protected here. And there's another path down that side, but as you can see there's this big bush here, so that protects us. And on this side it's all overgrown vegetation, so a bit of protection this side, and again this side overgrown vegetation and things, so we should be good. Let's set up. So the backpack, it's what I've shown you in the previous video. The only thing I've added for today is because I want to spend the afternoon here, I've got a small beach shelter which I wanted to try because I'm planning to do an overnight in it. You will see how it looks like. I'm not even sure if I will be able to do an overnight in it, so this is the first time I'm trying. But what I've done is, because you're trying to stay covert, you know, you want to be stealth, I've put my fleece on it, so it's not visible that it's like a tent, you know. So the hood is here, and people, if they see me, they will obviously might think something, but they cannot see anything. It's just a fleece. The other thing I've added is some food which I'm gonna cook, so you will see everything is the same as it was in the previous video. These are the only two things I've added. So as you can see, the system and the stuff that are inside can work in different situations. And if you plan to do an overnight, that's easy. Add the food for the evening, the tent, and some extra protection. Of course you might want to bring just a bit more water. Than I've only got 1 liter here. My plan is only to stay for the afternoon, but if you plan to do an overnight, you probably need a bit more water than that. However, if you remember from the previous videos, there are ways for me to sterilize water. I can boil water, so if I do find water, I can always boil it and have access to water that way. So I'm just gonna set up the shelter first, then we put some food on the pan, and we will go through the backpack itself. What do you guys think? Little shelter is set up. It's sunny today, so I've not pegged it down, and there's very minimal wind, so that's a blessing. So what do you guys think? Do you think you can stay an overnight in there? I wouldn't trust it very much. This is a mountain warehouse, a little shelter. I'll show you. But the fabric is not very strong. This is first time I've used this. First time I put it up. I bought it a few months ago. But yeah, the fabric is already coming undone where the pole's going through. So that's not very good. Mountain warehouse, you can do better. So I reckon I could spend the night in this. Probably not very comfortably because the length is not enough for me. But I could probably sleep in it. Yeah, I am a side sleeper, so it probably be alright for me for one night. Um, Now, this is not waterproof, it's a sun shelter, it's a beach shelter, so obviously you have to make sure that you have the forecast is good. But also, as you know, I take a poncho tarp with me, so for example, if the weather turns, I could always put the poncho tarp on top, or if necessary, and it's in the middle of the night, you bail out and get back to safety. I built this little platform so that the little stove is not in contact with the grass, and hopefully we will not have any problems. But whenever you deal with fire, um, with stoves and things like that, you always want to be extremely careful. So due to the lack of wind, the stove was not working very well, so I placed 4 tent pegs around it so the pan doesn't come in contact with the stove, and hopefully it won't slow down the flame, or even kill the flame. So let's have a look. So that seems to be working better. So on the menu today, hopefully, if the fire keeps going, there is cabanossi, which is a Polish type of sausage, and eggs, hopefully. These are my favorite eggs. Oh, see daisy. That's one gone to the ground. Never mind. Let's make sure this one doesn't go on the ground, otherwise we're gonna starve. Let's see, hopefully. How will I do this? Trusty Swiss Army knife comes to the rescue. I think in that case we'll do add another cabanossi in there, since I've lost an egg. I also forgot a wooden spatula, so everything is done with the Swiss Army knife today. I think that's it. Today's food is served. Well, buon appetito, guys. Mm. Cabanossi, very good. Mm. Put the egg in the bread. Ah, still hot. Mm. Opposite. Mm. I think that system works much better with the pegs, because otherwise the fire was dying off. There's already a spider making home in my shelter. Do you guys know anything about spiders? The only thing I know was that when I was younger I was really scared of spiders, like a phobia. And my son is the same now. But with time I learned to live with them. Fortunately they are not dangerous here. Oh, he's coming towards me now. There we go, mate. Go your own way. Oh, still here. I think he was trying to get to my eggs and the sausage. One thing I was disappointed about was that the hand sanitizer that I have and that I was using, although it says it's flammable on the bottle, it actually was not catching flame. So I was a bit disappointed about that. But that's a learning experience. So before you pack something that you might rely on, make sure you try it and make sure that it does what you want it to do. So in the end I had to use my olive oil to get the stove going, which is fine. The only downside is that it leaves a lot of soot under the pan, but that's okay. So yes, I'm definitely going to change the hand sanitizer. I'll probably use the same bottle because it's handy. It's a handy sanitizer, right? But I will I'll make sure that I fill it up with a flammable liquid, because you never know when you're gonna need to have a little fire. Scarpetta. If you don't know what scarpetta means, that means you don't know what you don't know an Italian person. Scarpetta means cleaning the plate with the bread. I learned it from my granddad and from my dad, and I'm teaching it to my son as well. Mm. Yeah, you don't want to do this if you are at a posh restaurant or something like that. But when you are enjoying yourself, especially outside, that's the best thing you can do. Mm. Perfetto. Perfetto. Perfect. Very good. Little cloth, bandana. This bandana has seen all sorts of adventures. There's a hole here. It's been with me for a long time, and I've used it for so many things. Right, I'm gonna sip some water, and then we'll talk about the backpack, which is what you are here for, right? Hope you're enjoying it so far. Time to talk about the backpack. So for probably 2-3 years I've been always hiking with Carrymore Urban, which is a fantastic pack. I like of that pack that the side pockets are really big, and you can fit a proper big chunky water bottle with the canteen around them. You know, usually the military issue canteens and bottles, they can fit in that side pocket of the Carrymore Urban backpack. And it's quite a spacious backpack. The only thing I start to not like was that he had a zip closure at the top, so he had two front zips, one for the main compartment and the other one for a front compartment. And sometimes if you pack a bit of stuff and you know those zips, you know, you struggle to close them. Obviously if you pack carefully you should be fine, but I was a little bit unsure. You know, I thought maybe at some point that this zip will fail. And also some other times when I was walking, I was picking some stuff up from the inside, and then for some reason you forget to close the zips, and maybe things start to fall from the backpack inside. So I was looking more at different backpacks, and I wanted a backpack with a flap as a closure. There are different backpacks outside, you know, on sale and on the different websites. But then what happened? I came across a Facebook page that brings up memories about things that were happening in the 90s and the 80s, which is when I was born. And they published a picture of an Invicta backpack, which was quite a famous backpack used by teenagers in the 90s, and every kid in Italy that was going to school at that time, you know, they wanted this Invicta backpack. It was like the staple. They were quite expensive backpacks as well, however they lasted years. There are people now that still have them. Obviously they are all worn out and that, but they are still standing, and some people have been traveling around the world with these backpacks since, you know, from teenagers up to their late 20s, maybe even early 30s, and you see these backpacks traveling around the world. So Invicta is a well-known brand. It's a well-known brand in Italy. It's an Italian brand, so that's the name, Invicta. You can read it on the zip tag here as well. So as a sudden buy, I decided to look on Amazon for these Invicta backpacks. As you can imagine, most of them are made for schools. However, they have this line of sort of urban backpacks where you have a sleeve at the back to put your laptop, not at the back of here, but at the back in the main compartment. We'll have a look. So I came across this one, which is a nice bland blue color with the black straps, and we can have a look. So here there is a D-ring, which is quite sturdy, it's quite hard. You can attach all sorts. I usually have my hat on there, but you can put a carabiner and hang out all the rest of other stuff. And it's quite you know, I think functional backpack. So you can use it for going to the city for a little sightseeing, or like me, you can use it for outdoor stuff. And I like it for many reasons. As soon as it arrived, I was really impressed by the quality. I didn't pay this backpack too much. I think it was around £40, but it was on offer. But as soon as it arrived, I was impressed by the quality of the materials and the textiles and the buckles. So let's go through. So let's start from the bottom. So there's this small part, small opening, small compartment at the front, where I usually keep my essentials like gloves, little snack, electrolytes, my medicine, like the inhaler for asthma and things like that. So essentials in here, so easy access. Side, there is two side pockets where I keep my water bottle on one side. You can keep another water bottle on this side. However, this is one of the downsides of this pack, which is that the pockets are, although the material is quite strong, the textile here is not stretchy. There is a stretch part here where the elastic part is, but not this material here. So unfortunately, I was not able to put my military canteen in here. However, I still use a 1 liter standard bottle, and that fits in there nicely. One good thing is that every time I've used the other backpack, and when I bend to grab something from the ground, the bottle always falls. I've been using this backpack for I think 2 weeks now. I've been on two 12 kilometers hikes. I've been out and about, things like that, and the bottle has never fallen from inside here. So that is a good thing for now. So I had to compromise in not having my military canteen bottle and container, but on the other hand, the bottle is staying in there. Looking up at the front, so one good thing is this flap, which some people are thinking, you know, there should have been a zip here at the top, and those were like the classical school backpack of the 90s. So obviously that is a bit of a memory and a nostalgia. I understand why people would want a zip here to put maybe documents and things like that in here. However, I do prefer to have this here, because I usually slide a fleece, you know, or my waterproof jacket I slide in here, so I can quickly grab it in case it's getting cold or just a little rain. Yeah, so I prefer these rather than having the zip across here. One good thing is that these straps are really long, so and they are also very sturdy, very thick, so that for sure they will last a long time. So what obviously that will allow you to put stuff over the flap, sort of over the backpack but under the flap, so that can go all the way up to here, as you can see, and you can put even a tent going across here, if you're carrying that. Yeah, so but this is very long, very sturdy, very reliable. Right, before we go inside, so there are only shoulder straps on here. There is no hip belt and no chest straps. Again, this is a backpack for city, you know, for city dwellers, if you're going to the office and things like that. So this backpack is not meant to do activities outside. But there are a couple of things. There are these loops here on the shoulder straps, so you could easily put a chest strap yourself without issues, and there are 3 loops, so you can adjust the height of the chest straps if you wanted to. um, the hip belt, yeah, you could probably do some modifications here. However, to be honest with you, I've been like on these 12 kilometers hikes, 2 of these hikes. I hadn't felt the need of using the chest straps, which I was using in the previous backpack, and the hip belt, I had no problem. The only these shoulder straps are sort of thin, maybe a centimeters, but they are quite padded. They are well padded, and the backpack has been extremely comfortable. Only thing is, with time I was having a little bit of right shoulder pain, but that is possibly to do with an injury that I've had not long ago. Plus, I keep my 1 liter bottle on the right side, so that could be maybe a little bit of an unbalanced weight of the backpack itself. But nothing major, you know. I was able to continue without problem. I didn't need to do any extra rest or anything like that. Right, back on the inside. So these cords to close the main compartment, really thick cords with the rubber at the end here, so there is no no threading over the materials, nothing like that. And this is a really chunky closure. Look how chunky that is. So again, a testimonial of good quality and good materials. So again, very long, so you can, even if you open the whole of this flap, you still have got materials left. So that's very good. Yeah, and the main compartment is just like a bucket, which is what, if you follow David Canterbury on YouTube, you should know. He prefers like a bucket sort of style backpack, so you can stuff all your gear inside. And that's why also I made the choice for this backpack, so it's easy to see. You can easily see what's inside, you know, and you can easily have access to all what you need. Snacks, jackets, and all sorts. Easily stuffed in there. Now at the back here, there's this padded sleeve, which obviously the back panel is padded, but the sleeve is padded as well, so that offers extra protection if you put a laptop or a tablet, you know, any electronics that you need. Obviously, that's not. I don't use it for that. I put some first aid kit in there and survival bag and a couple of other things. And then in the front of the panel of the sleeve, there is a zip, little zip. This is meant for documents and things like that. Again, they are so I would say if you have documents, I'll probably put in this zipped pocket here, because it will be more difficult to access. If you have a zip at the front here and you put documents in there, you know, some bad people may have easy access to that. Whereas if they are inside in the zip pocket here, obviously it's a little bit more difficult. But I use this zip pocket for emergency kit. So I have power banks, some lighters and some matches in there. Again, I keep them in there because I don't want them to get wet. I have a spare cash and all that, but cables for the phone. So yeah, that's it. So I'm very satisfied with the backpack. It can contain far more than what you need for a day hike. although I do carry quite a bit, because like I said before, I take people on hikes, and so I have some extra stuff with me. But as you've seen, I placed the tent on the side here. Yes, it was coming out from here, but that's easily covered. Otherwise, you could put the tent across here, or here with the zips like that. Sorry, the buckle like that, and the tent can go across here. I can easily do an overnight with this backpack. Certainly in spring and summer. Maybe I would struggle in the winter and autumn, but we will see. I might give this a try, and I might take you with me while we're doing those things. Yeah, so that's it. If you have any experience with the Invicta backpacks, or if you've never heard of this brand before, reach out. I can send you some links and see if you like it. But I think we will end the video here. It's 10 to 4. It's a lovely afternoon in England. I'm gonna pack everything, and I'm gonna continue my hike together with my Garmin Phoenix 7 Pro, which has been a great companion over the last week. You know, its GPS signal is fantastic, so I'm enjoying all the area around here and exploring, and let the Garmin do the job. I might talk about it in a future video. Okay guys, hope you enjoyed this. Stay safe and enjoy the outdoors. Guys, amazing finding. I was going back on the trail. The trail was like overgrown so much. Look at that. So I couldn't walk through it. And so I had to go to the side of the trail, and wow, look what I found. Well, that is safe to say that it's coming home with me, this one. Amazing.